Good morning, children. Today we will have a new lesson, and the title of the lesson is My Childhood. This is the sixth lesson from your prose textbook, right? Written by APJ Abdul Kalam. I hope all of you know much about APJ Abdul Kalam. He was the 11th President of India. So let us know something in detail about the author. Yes, children, APJ Abdul Kalam, former President of India. This detail is taken from Google, Wikipedia, right? Awul Pakir Jainulabuddin Abdul Kalam, that is his full name, was an Indian aerospace scientist and politician who served as the 11th President of India from 2002 to 2007. He was born and raised in Rameshwaram in Tamil Nadu and studied physics and aerospace engineering. Born 15th October 1931, Rameshwaram, died 27 July 2015, Shillong. While he was teaching, he died. Everybody knows it. Okay, that was his wish also. That once he expressed that his wish was to die by teaching, while teaching, right? Full name Awul Pakir Jainulabuddin Abdul Kalam. Awards, which are the awards that he received: Bharat Ratna, Padma Vibhushan, Padma Bhushan, Hoover Medal, etc. Parents: father Jainulabuddin Marakhayar, mother Ashiyama Jainulabuddin. Okay, now children, let us learn his text now. And actually this text was taken from his autobiography, Wings of Fire. Okay, this chapter is taken from his autobiography. What is the name of his autobiography? Wings of Fire. So before you read, can you think of any scientists who have also been a statesman? So answer is Abdul Kalam himself. APJ Abdul Kalam, whose projects in space, defense and nuclear technology guided India into the 21st century, became our 11th president in 2002 and he served up to 2007. In his autobiography, Wings of Fire, he speaks of his childhood. So what are we going to learn about Abdul Kalam's childhood days? Okay, children, are ready? Yes. I was born into the middle class Tamil family in the island town of Rameshwaram in the erstwhile Madras state. My father Jainulabuddin had neither much formal education nor much wealth. Despite these disadvantages, he possessed great innate wisdom and a true generosity of spirit. He had an ideal helpmate in my mother, Ashiyama. I do not recall the exact number of people she fed every day, but I am quite certain that far more outsiders ate with us than all the members of our own family put together. So dear children, the first paragraph tells us about where he was born. He was born into a middle class Tamil family. Okay, and that is Rameshwaram in the erstwhile, means former Madras state. Now it is Chennai. My father, what is the name of his father? Jainulabuddin had neither much formal education. What do you mean by formal education? Education that we get from schools is called formal. That means he could not go to school. Who could not go to school? His father. That's why he did not have much. May have gone to a few grades like first to fourth, that is not mentioned here, nor much wealth. Despite these disadvantages, he possessed. What is possessed? He had great innate means by birth, inborn wisdom and true generosity of spirit. He is very generous by nature. he had an ideal helpmate. He finds help from his wife, that means mother of Abdul Kalam. What is the name of Abdul Kalam's mother? Ashiyama. Okay, I do not remember the exact number of people she fed every day. So she is also very generous and helpful. She used to feed people, especially outsiders as well. Okay, but I am quite certain that far more outsiders ate with us than all members of our own family put together. So here Abdul Kalam wanted to tell us that both parents are very generous. Okay, and they used to feed outsiders food. Okay, now the second paragraph. I was one of many children. Actually, there are many children born to his parents. A short boy with rather undistinguished looks. What do you mean by not undistinguished? Not anything special. Undistinguished look. Not, he was not good looking. Distinguished means something famous. Distinguished personality. But here is undistinguished. Okay, opposite. Born to tall and handsome parents. Parents are handsome. We lived in our ancestral house. What do you mean by ancestral house? House belong to your ancestors. What you call Purvaj. In Hindi we call Purvaj. In Kannada we say Ajji Mane. Ancestral house which was built in the middle of the 19th century. When was that ancestral house constructed? The middle of 19th century. It was fairly large Pakka house. What do you mean by Pakka house? Perfect house. Made of limestone and brick. Okay, you know, limestone and brick. On the Mosque Street in Rameshwaram. And where was this house constructed? In the Mosque Street in Rameshwaram. My austere father. Austere means simple but strict and severe. Severe father. Very strict and severe. My austere father used to avoid all inessential comforts and luxuries. And he will never support any luxurious life or much comfortable life. However, all necessities were provided for. Okay, but he was not thrown to poverty. What are the basic things? For example, food, medicine and clothes. In fact, I would say mine was a very secure, means safe childhood, both materially and emotionally. In the material way, that means physical way, he is secure, and emotional way. Okay, so whose childhood was materially and emotionally perfect or secure? Abdul Kalam's. What about his parents? Very generous. Father being very strict, did not pay attention for luxury, whereas all basic necessities were provided in terms of food, medicine and clothes. So, okay, shall we continue? Yeah. Third paragraph. The Second World War broke out in 1939 when I was 8 years old. So when did Second World War break out? When Abdul Kalam was 8 years only. You can imagine an 8-year boy or an 8-year girl. Now you are 14 years, okay? So when he was 8 years, what happened? Second World War happened. For reasons I have never been able to understand, a sudden demand of tamarind seeds erupted in the market. So what happened? There was a great demand of tamarind seeds. You know what is tamarind seeds? In Hindi we call imili. Imili ka gutli. Okay. So there was a great demand for that. Erupted in the market, came out in the market. I used to collect the seeds and sell them to a provision store, means grocery shop on Mosque Street. So as a boy, Abdul Kalam used to collect those seeds and selling to a provision store. A day's collection would fetch me a princely amount, a generous amount. Princely means, write down, a generous amount of 1 anna. 8 anna is equal to 50 paise. So 1 anna you can understand. Those days anna is there. Now you may have started with 1 rupee. You may not have seen 25 paise. Have you seen? No, I don't think so. So you started with maybe 1 rupee. You have seen minimum 1 rupee now. But in the time of Abdul Kalam, the transaction started from anna. So 8 anna is equal to 50 paise. Okay, 16 anna is equal to 1 rupee. Now you can imagine how meager that paisa is, but it was of great value that time. My brother-in-law Jalaluddin would tell me stories about the war which I would later attempt to trace in the headlines in Dinamani. Dinamani is the name of a newspaper. So he would read that detail about the war in the newspaper, other than the information that he receives from his brother-in-law. Who is his brother-in-law? Jalaluddin. Clear? You can underline and learn. Jalaluddin is the brother-in-law. He was elder, so he would tell stories about war to Abdul Kalam. Later, Abdul Kalam will collect more information through the newspaper Dinamani. Our area, being isolated, was completely unaffected by the war. Actually, Rameshwaram is the extreme corner, in one corner, so war was not giving any effect there. But soon India was forced to join the Allied forces and something like a state of emergency was declared. The first casualty came in the form of suspension of the train halt at Rameshwaram station. So when there was an emergency situation, the suspension means stoppage of the train halt at Rameshwaram was suspended. What was suspended? What was stopped? The stopping of the train at Rameshwaram was stopped. The newspaper now had to be bundled and thrown out from the moving train on the Rameshwaram road between Rameshwaram and Dhanuskodi. Rameshwaram is a place, that's the main station. Dhanuskodi is another place. So actually these people belong to in between. So that forced my cousin Samsuddin, who distributed newspaper in Rameshwaram, to look for a helping hand to catch the bundles of newspaper, as if naturally I filled the slot. Okay, what is his cousin doing? Cousin is an agent for newspaper distribution, and when the train stoppage was stopped at suspended, what will happen? The bundle of paper would be thrown between Rameshwaram and Dhanuskodi, and who would collect that bundle? Abdul Kalam. There was a vacancy for that, so Abdul Kalam filled the slot. Samsuddin helped me earn my first wage. So you can write down, and who gave him his first wage? His cousin Samsuddin, but not Jalaluddin. Jalaluddin is brother-in-law. Samsuddin, don't confuse yourself. Samsuddin is his cousin. So his cousin helped him to get his first wage. So dear children, here is a question for you. How did Abdul Kalam earn his first wage? Many a year I have an experience that children will write the other thing. What is other thing? By collecting and selling the tamarind seeds to the provision store, he got some money. 1 anna, that is different thing. That is not a wage. Wage means when you do some work, when you get money for that, that is called wage. So here is a question. How did Abdul Kalam earn his first wage? By collecting the newspaper bundle which was thrown from the train between Rameshwaram and Dhanuskodi. Okay, who was the newspaper agent that time? His cousin Samsuddin. So his cousin Samsuddin gave him his first wage. Is it clear? Half a century later, I can still feel the surge of pride in earning my own money for the first time. Okay, so even now also, means now he is no more. Even after years, he used to think about that, earning his first wage. So dear children, these first two paragraphs are enough for the day, I feel, or shall we continue with one more paragraph? I think better to go for one more paragraph, or else we will stop here. So what did we learn today? Let us make a quick review of what we have discussed today. Today we discussed about the birth of Abdul Kalam in the Rameshwaram. That is he belonged to a middle class Tamil family, and his parents both were very generous, and father's name is Jainul Abidin, and mother's name is Ashiyama, and he was born to his parents among one out of many children. There are many children in the family, and his parents were very handsome, but he was not handsome. He had an undistinguished look, means not very beautiful look. And they lived in an ancestral house which was made of lime and brick. It was a pakka house, and father was a very strict in terms of control, and he did not provide him any comfort or luxury, but he has given all the necessities like food, medicine and clothes, and his childhood was very safe in terms of material way or emotional way. When the Second World War broke out in the year 1939, Abdul Kalam was only 8 years old, and there was a great demand for tamarind seeds in the market, and as a boy of 8 years old, he used to collect tamarind seeds and giving to professional store. There he earned 1 anna, that is a princely amount that time. And later on, his brother-in-law would tell him about the war, and he would also read it from the newspaper Dinamani. And as a part of emergency, the stoppage of that train at Rameshwaram was suspended. So his cousin was selling newspaper. He was a newspaper agent, and he had to collect that newspaper bundle which were thrown from the train, because there was no stop at Dhanishkodi and Rameshwaram. So it was thrown between Dhanishkodi and Rameshwaram, right? That forced his cousin Shamsuddin to have a helping hand, and immediately who filled the slot? Abdul Kalam filled the slot, and he started getting his first wage. Even after half a century, still Abdul Kalam remembers about it. So children, read well, study well, and try to write the important words and their meanings, and also start writing down the question answers, right? We will meet again tomorrow. Till that time, have a nice day ahead.